Welcome to Diverse Orange, our conversations about diversity here in Central Florida. My guest today is Quibulah Graham. Welcome, Quibulah.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
You work in diversity actually for Orlando Health, but let's find out a little bit about you. Where did you grow up?
So I was born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. I lived there until I graduated from high school, where I then went to college in New Orleans, Louisiana, at a historically black college and university, Dillard University. And then I moved on to Nashville, Tennessee, where I lived a couple of years and went to another HBCU, Meharry Medical College, and got my master's in public health there.
And what brought you to Central Florida?
Well, I actually, my family brought me here. I didn't have any family here in Central Florida, but my in-laws lived in Miami. And so when I married, we moved to Orlando, Florida, and just set up roots here.
Well, growing up in Atlanta, which has a very large African-American community, and going to HBCUs, sounds like your early life probably was very much in a community of people that looked like you.
Absolutely, yes. My mother actually was a florist where she owned two flower shops. So she was a smaller minority business owner there. So, of course, we had a great network of people in the African American community who were providers and looked out for us when my sister and I were little girls growing up. But it also gave us the opportunity to be able to be engaged in some of the social issues that were in Atlanta, Georgia. There's so much culture there, and it was really progressive for me growing up there. But my mother was a child of the civil rights movement. So she was able to educate us and take us to some of the historical places where Dr. Martin Luther King used to meet and have dinner meetings with some of his family. And it was a very enlightening experience to be able to get that, and didn't appreciate it until I became an adult and on my own and was able to venture into other diverse cultures and appreciate those.
In Atlanta, what contact did you have with white community?
And so our community where we grew up was a middle class community. We still had, I went to a predominantly black high school also, but we still had programs where we engaged in other high schools in the area. I was also in the marching band. I was a majorette, and so we traveled and we went to different places and toured. And I think that was probably my first opportunity to be engaged in other cultures in the white community as well.
And in New Orleans or was it Nashville you said?
Yes.
I mean, obviously with the school, you can just stay right there, but did you get involved with the community at all?
Oh, absolutely, yes. And being a part of a sorority, also pledging, it allowed us to be able to do a lot of community service and get to know New Orleans. And it has its own culture also, but so many activities and events that happen there, like Mardi Gras and some of the classic football games that come there, was a great opportunity to be able to get out and be engaged in other race and ethnicities that are in New Orleans. Same thing for Nashville, Tennessee. It's a different type of culture where, it's one of the capitals of country music. So that was a great chance for me to learn about that and appreciate music in a different way, and the people who are making that music who don't look like me. So yes, both of those cities had a great influence on me. I also had the opportunity after I finished grad school to move to New York. I lived in Manhattan, so as you can imagine, that is a large melting pot of different cultures, races, and ethnicities. And there are celebrations all over that city throughout the year that allowed me to engage in the food, the arts, going to some of the Broadway shows and plays, and even some of the different conversations that I would have with people that I work with in my internship, to understand what they appreciate, what they like, and learned a little more.
Did you come to Orlando from New York then?
I did, yes, I did. So that was and that right there was probably a little bit of a culture shock, as you can imagine, even growing up in Atlanta. But from so many, being exposed to so much in New York, I thought it was just great to be able to, I thought it was great to, some people might not say this, but just to be able to ride the subway and see the different personalities as I was going to work every day. But yes, I think when I came here in Orlando, it was 2001. So to me, it wasn't as progressive. All I knew was, the parks, the theme parks that were here. As I continued to stay here, I saw what a great family oriented city that this was. And it has grown also to be able to, at the time, when I first moved here, we didn't have a performing arts center, and now we do. Um, Lots of people have moved here from other countries and brought their cultures with them. So the great variety of restaurants, food eateries, and just festivals that now are appreciated, I think, more throughout the year than it was when I first came here. It's been a great experience.
What do you think? What would you like to see in Central Florida that you don't see now?
So I do appreciate all of the community and the arts and the food. And Orlando is one of the most diverse cities in Florida. I still think that there is an opportunity for us to be able to shine a light on all of the diverse businesses that are in Central Florida. I think that collaborations and consortiums with other organizations and large businesses can bring their talent to the spotlight for the uniqueness that it is that people probably don't even know exists here in Orlando or in Florida. And I think that some of those small businesses and minority businesses are doing such great things that we want to be able to scale them up and help them to be a larger part of Orlando so that people can patronize them and appreciate the heritage that comes behind it.
Well, your job as Senior Director of Diversity at Orlando Health entails what? What do you do there?
So there are three components to what I do, and one of those is first to make sure that we're taking care of our team members internally. That's to provide them with resources that they need, including diversity education or opportunities for them to go and get out in the community and do some things that they're interested in with diverse populations. But most importantly, to be able to understand and be culturally competent of all of the different types of the multicultural city that we live in, to be able to take care of those patients who enter our doors and understand that they have unique needs and be empathetic to those. Secondly, it's to be able to partner. What we do, we partner with nonprofit organizations, diverse organizations, to make sure if they are doing things in the community that we want to be a part of, such as building gardens in food deserts to assist with health equity and make sure that our community is being served. We are partnering with those organizations, providing for them financially or resources that our hospital can. And then the third part of it is our business development part. So that's making sure that diverse minority businesses in Orlando and in our community outside of Orlando in Central Florida are able to do business with Orlando Health, that they know how to get in through our supply chain team, that they understand the importance of certifications, that we provide resources to some of the Chamber of Commerce to give them accelerator programs so that they can get to the level that they'd like to be with their businesses. But most importantly is for us to help create jobs within the community, because we know that when people are put to work, we have a healthier population, healthier lives.
Well, I'm glad that you're doing that. I hope you're being successful. How long have you been at this?
So I have been in this role for about 18 months, but I've been with Orlando Health for about 19 years. And I started off actually as a pediatric ICU nurse, intensive care unit nurse. I did adult neurology nursing also, and had various roles throughout the organization, including operations. For my role before this, I was an administrator in operations over at Orlando Regional Medical Center, our level 1 trauma center, and our flagship hospital. So it's been a great experience for me getting to know this organization and being a part of it and wanting to invest in it. And that's why it led me to this role, because I knew that we had opportunities in diversity and inclusion. It was something that I have been passionate about and didn't realize I was passionate about even as a child, with my upbringing of how important it was. And I wanted to make sure that Orlando Health had the best opportunity and exposure to be able to take advantage of all of the diversity in Central Florida, and in our communities that we serve, so that we could serve our people well.
Super. Well, Quibulah, it's been great talking to you. Thank you for your role here in advancing the diversity in Orlando Health and the service to our community. So we appreciate it. Thanks for being with me.
Absolutely. It's been my pleasure. Thank you, Scary.
And thank you all for watching this issue of Diverse Orange.